Welcome to Now to Play Games. I'm one of your hosts, John, and with me is the only man alive who's allergic to penicillin, Finn. You guys, and I don't know what I'm supposed to say when it comes to that one. What's going on? Hello, Finn. How are you, my friend?
Good, and confirmed debunked. Rose, you're allergic to penicillin as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, well.
You will also notice that I said the only man alive.
Okay, all right.
There's that technicality that comes in there.
Somehow.
So yeah,
little baby sure. Finn got a boo-boo one time, got a plaster on it, had a rash for about a week. No more penicillin after that.
Time out. Wait, what's plaster?
A Band-Aid.
Okay. I was like, wait, whoa.
Cast, man.
I thought, I went to cast because casts are made out of plaster.
Yeah, but you just plaster over something.
You Band-Aid it.
No, this is like, okay, so I'm watching Ted Lasso, right? I just finished the first season. Mm-hmm. And half of the comedy in that show is just an American discovering Britishisms. Like the fact that cookies are called biscuits and stuff. Yes. And it's hilarious if in your mind you insert Jon into the show. Instead of Ted Lasso. It's just the best thing. And it makes me laugh even harder.
Confirmed. I'm right up there with Jason Sudeikis. And you know what? That's not a bad place to be honest
with you.
No,
all you need is like a thicker mustache and then you're good to go, you know?
That's awesome. Actually, I do want to watch the show. I've heard it's actually really, really good. I just need to pick up Apple TV. Yeah. So let's flip a little bit, though. Well, something bad, though. Finn, I know you don't like scary games. We know that. I'm still impressed that I got you to play freaking what's the game called that we played?
Phasmophobia. Yeah.
Phasmophobia, that's right. Are there any other scary games that you just don't like, or have you tried, or just nope, I'm never playing that game?
PT kind of killed everything for me. Like in a good way. It was too scary. And I didn't want to play any game after that.
The Atari game E.T.
PT.
Oh, PT. I was like, Finn, what?
PT killed me. ET killed the industry.
Yes. I was like,
scary in different ways.
Yes, very scary in different ways. I was like, ET did it for you? I'm like, Finn, you and I need to talk.
Like, why are you confused? Most people are scared by PT. It's a scary game. And you were like,
PT scared the shit out of me. I'm going to be absolutely honest. I was terrified.
ET's pretty like monstrous. I don't know how he's like a lovable children's character. He's like, he's wrinkly. He's like
I feel
he's like an egg that's been in the sun for too long. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's because he doesn't have a forehead. Like, that somehow makes him likable.
That's a deep cut, Rose, that nobody will get. That's the deepest cut to Jon's war against all foreheads. Oh my God. We're so far off the track already.
That's called a setup.
You know what? Speaking of scary games and foreheads, let's talk about one real fast. Rose, will you pull up the tweet for us and the picture? Pragmata got delayed to 2023, and I'm sorry, the child scares the hell out of me. I like, look at this. First off, look at the forehead. Like, it is huge. It is a forehead squared, and it scares me. I don't understand.
Number one on the list, forehead. Just
and like,
no,
I need, and the eyes are too small and too close together, and I need you to. I wish I pulled it up, but verbatim, tell everyone what you said in the Discord when I said this scares me. Like, you said something very specific, and I need you to go ahead and just say it for us.
I don't know. I need to pull it up, but you posted this in our Discord.
Yeah,
and we both found it scary, but for different reasons. You're apparently freaked out by foreheads of above average size.
The proportions are not right.
Yeah, and it makes me uncomfortable.
It does.
But like, the reason it makes me uncomfortable is not because of the child, it's because of the child being used as the front for Capcom to announce a delayed game. Yes. It's like, our game is being delayed, sorry. It's like, no, don't do that. That creeps me out.
No, Capcom. I don't need that in my life. This oh, I'm sorry, our game got delayed to 2023.
Like, listeners of the podcast in audio form won't see it, but like, it's literally a child holding up a little pad or a whiteboard or something that's sorry and a smiley face or like a frowny face. And it's like, no, don't do that.
Just Google Pragmata delay and you're going to see it and you're going to thank us later for haunting your nightmares on that one.
Just give me a press release, man.
That's all we really needed.
Don't put fictional children out there to... Oh, God.
Just to delay your games. All right, with that, welcome to Now to Play Games, your weekly podcast about all the video game news you need to know about. We do this live every Saturday at 4 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. British here on twitch.tv/Now to Play Games. If you can't hang out with us live, we got you covered. Just search the Now to Play Games channel over on YouTube and get all the access to all of our videos, including this podcast right here, Now to Play Games. Our monthly Playdate podcast, which November's just released this week, so please go check that out. And any reactions or fun things we do is right there for your viewing pleasure. Please subscribe to the channel. We really, really want that cool URL, so go ahead and subscribe. Help us out with that one. And please ring the bell so you are up to date on everything you need to know about. If you're listening to this podcast in podcast form, appreciate that. Follow us there. Give us the 5-star review. Tell your friends to follow Now to Play Games on any and every podcast service they listen to podcasts on. Social media is kind of cool, right? I think we're cool. You should be cool too. Follow Now to Play Games on Twitter and Instagram at Now to Play Games. With that, you know what? Let's load up all of our stories. We got 5 of them, guys, and that includes the Game Award nominees. Phil Spencer, or as we call him, Papa Phil, is doing right by everyone. But you know what? Let's start off on a low note. It can't get any worse, right, with Activision? But I think it's gonna, and I think it has. Let's jump right into this, and hold on for this one, guys. This one's gonna be a long one. I'm forewarning, and I'm giving you guys, I'm just going to prepare you guys. Brace yourselves for everything I am about to say. Good luck, and we will see you on the other side. I'm pulling from IGN. They gave a pretty good breakdown of the last week in Blizzard's world. A new report claims that Activision CEO Bobby Kotick knew about alleged sexual assault and harassment allegations within the company's own studios, but did not disclose the information to the company's board. The same report states that Jen O'Neill, who was recently made co-head of the company before announcing her departure just 3 months later, has previously experienced harassment at the company and was paid less than her male counterpart, Mike Ybarra, and had said she was tokenized, quote unquote, by the company. A new Wall Street Journal report continues the long-running scandal within Activision Blizzard, which came to light when the state of California filed a lawsuit against the company. The report centers on Kotick and says the internal documents and sources familiar with the company show that the CEO was aware of many reported abuses within the company, including accusations of, I'm going to call it rapé. You know what that means? I don't really like saying that word, so I'm going to say rapé, that were emailed directly to Kotick, but did not inform the board of everything he knew. The report also includes a number of new accusations against current and former employees, including Kotick himself. All right. That's a lot to digest. This was just on November 16th. Well, Bobby Kotick, in a statement, fought back a little bit. And I'm jumping into this statement, which you can go to Activision, Blizzard, the newsroom, all that fun stuff over there. I'm jumping in about the middle of it. I'm going to read you what Bobby Kotick said. There will, of course, be continued media attention about us and our industry over the next few months. In fact, there's an article today that paints an inaccurate and misleading view of our company, of me personally, and my leadership. I want to say 2 important things about this. First, we are incredibly fortunate to have the most talented people in the industry, also committed to constant improvement and I share this commitment. I'm sorry about that. The second thing I want to say is that anyone who doubts my conviction to be the most welcoming, inclusive workspace doesn't really appreciate how important this is to me. Creativity and inspiration thrives best in a safe, welcoming, respectful environment. There is no substitute for that. And staying true to those values without exception is the best way to retain our talent and to attract the new talent we need to achieve our great potential. As I have made clear, we are moving forward with a zero tolerance policy for inappropriate behavior, and zero means zero. Any irreprehensible? Irreprehensible. Wow, that's a mouthful for me. Conduct is simply unacceptable. Finn, do you want to keep on going, or do you want to break that one down first, just the day by day? Or I mean, I can get this all out of the way, and we can come back to it.
We can like, because I was sneezing there as you were reading that statement. I've read the statement before, but it still makes me mad. Especially the bit that really sets me off is the bit where he says, "I want to say that anyone who doubts my conviction must to be the most welcoming and inclusive workspace doesn't really appreciate how important this to me." Oh, sorry, Bobby. I'm sorry that you're the one that's being targeted for this whole thing, and it just makes me so mad, John. It's per me.
I had to add that in here because IGN did a good job, but I was like, hold up. I'm pretty sure he fought back, and that right there, I wanted to make sure that was in while we were talking about it, because shut up, Bobby, shut up. It's your fault that you're in this position. And if it was really important to you, you wouldn't be in this position. Plain and simple. There's nothing more to fight on that one. If it was that important, you would have actually made sure that everything was okay. You would have taken it, gotten it to HR, or done whatever you need to as the damn CEO.
Yeah.
But also, John, but look at this. Look at how proud of himself he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's so proud of himself.
I hate that picture so effing much.
Why do you think I picked that one?
I know. It upsets me beyond belief.
Me too.
The other thing that I don't know if you included in this, but feel free to call me out if you did. There was a meeting at Activision after the statement got released. This is specifically regarding the zero tolerance policy he was talking about at the end of that. And the developers, during the meeting, employees asked whether the publisher's zero tolerance policy on harassment, something the defense statements credit Kotick with helping to implement, applies to the CEO. Leadership reportedly responded that it did not have evidence of the claims made against them this week, attributing this to the fact that they happened over a decade ago. The meeting also is said to have revealed Activision Blizzard extended the company's Thanksgiving break to a full week, seemingly knowing that the Wall Street Journal's article will be published this week, having its defenses planned ahead of time. So they knew this was coming out.
Yeah, they knew this was dropping. So no, I didn't add that one. I was trying to find the direct quote, and I just kind of ran out of time. So thank you for finding that one.
Yeah.
F off.
It's a load of just absolute. There's so many layers to this. Like we can continue on from this point, because I feel like this next part is important as well.
Yeah, this one is important too. So this is November 17th. Amid the Wall Street Journal report on Bobby Kotick, additional reports emerged that former Blizzard co-lead Jennifer O'Neill wanted to resign, in part due to issues that included being paid less than her male counterpart, Mike Ybarra. Ybarra has now told Blizzard employees that he and O'Neill asked for pay parity together, but O'Neill says that she was offered an equal contract only after resigning from the role. Ybarra responded to allegations in internal messages separately confirmed by multiple Blizzard employees. The messages, screenshots of which were viewed by IGN, were posted in a public Slack channel and directed to Blizzard employees. Ybarra explained that Jen and I shared with management that we wanted to be paid the same to co-lead Blizzard together, adding that they had entered their new role on existing previous contracts, explaining their pay difference. However, O'Neill seemingly sought to clarify the situation further, adding details that Ybarra had not mentioned. In additional conversations viewed by IGN, O'Neill responded forcefully to Ybarra's comments, saying that Activision Blizzard had rejected the pay parity request on multiple occasions. She continued, "While the company informed me before I tendered my resignation that they were working on a new proposal, we were made equivalent offers only after I tendered that resignation." That was what? What? Are you kidding me?
It's the thing, John, where I'm glad she said it, because earlier up you mentioned that she feel like she had been tokenized,
yes.
and they had been tokenized together as part of this whole thing. And I'm glad she said it, because the whole thing, when it happened, them two being appointed, reeked of tokenism.
Yeah.
But like,
hey, we're gonna bring her up, which
so
good.
Incompetent and tone deaf that they can't even get that right, because they try to token. Oh, look, we have men and women in equal positions, but for unequal pay. How do you even mess that up? Even if like you're a scummy company doing scummy things and you're trying to like hide that, you can't even do that right. It just makes me so mad, and I'm glad Jen O'Neill's now resigned because that just seems completely disgusting.
Look, it's one of those things too. Like, all right, so they're on 2 different contracts. As someone who works on contracts, that's my job. I live off of contracts. I got a promotion, and what happened was I got paid out of my contract to start the new job, the new promotion. It's not that hard of a concept to go, oh, okay, let's start them off right together, pay them out, because we know they're being paid differently, and put them on equal playing field so it's good to go. Because I said it once and I will say it again, perception wins. And it's not that hard to go, we need to do this right.
And clearly it wasn't that hard if they offered it her anyway whenever she was leaving.
Yes. Oh, you're retired. Oh, you're resigning? Oh, we can do that for you. Yeah. You're about 3 months too late, Activision. All right, jumping to November 18th. Sony Interactive Entertainment boss Jim Ryan and head of Xbox Phil Spencer have both spoken out about the scandal. Ryan told employees that he was disheartened and frankly stunned at the recent developments, while Spencer has said that he was disturbed and deeply troubled by the reported events at the company. Spencer went as far as to say that he was evaluating all aspects of our relationship with Activision Blizzard and making ongoing proactive adjustments. In response, Activision Blizzard said, "We respect all feedback from our valued partners and are engaging with them further. We have detailed important changes we have implemented in recent weeks and will continue to do so." That's the end of the IGN article. I'm adding this one in. This is coming from gamesindustry.biz. Girls Who Code in partnership with Activision Blizzard. This is Jeffrey Rosario. I apologize if I said your name wrong. Girls Who Code. Our priority has and always will be to stand up for women and other underrepresented groups in tech and ensure that they are given the support and stability they need to actively thrive as they pursue a career in computer science, said Girls Who Code. The news about Activision proves that our priorities are fundamentally misaligned. We cannot, in good conscience, continue to work with a company that is Rose.
I don't know where you are. Esoteric?
Oh, I've also lost where you were.
Against our own values.
Esoteric?
Like I read through this one and oops, I meant to look at that one.
Antithetical.
Thank you. That's a new one, guys. We're all going to learn from this podcast. The nonprofit explains that it holds its partners accountable when they fall short. However, there is a line, and the allegations against Activision have crossed that line, the organization said. Everyone's calling them out, Finn. Mm-hmm. Everyone's calling them out, and I am all on board with this one.
Yeah, it does. First of all, this is all due to the work and the walkouts and the sort of pushing for this done from the employees within Activision as well as commentators who are sharing what these employees are doing as well. Yeah. Finally, it seems to have reached people outside of Activision's sphere, but still have great power in the industry. And I remember back to John when we covered the Tripwire Interactive stuff, where their CEO had said some pretty bad stuff, and immediately some people who had been working in partnership with them had called out against it and had said, we're ending contracts with this company, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that led to a change of leadership in that company. This, at the end of the day, you can, as consumers and fans, we can only do so much. We can boycott things. I'm skeptical of that. It rarely ever leads to anything. We can, retweet what employees are saying. But really, at the end of the day, there are people in power who can choose to do stuff, and normally they're the only ones who are able to make real change. And so Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer, both with their respective companies coming out, and speaking out against this is quite interesting because, first of all, it's rare. You never really see people at this level coming out and you mentioned there, Jim Ryan had said publicly some things had disappointed him about the Activision scandal. He'd also reached out to them privately as well, which I'm not sure was covered in that quote. But yeah, it's really bizarre, but also inspiring. And I hope they do really look at their relationship with Activision and make adjustments. Sony have, for a while now, had a partnership with Activision when it comes to a few games, including Call of Duty, where they have some sort of marketing partnership there. I don't know if Xbox have any ongoing deals with them, but No, I don't think it will get to a stage that people are saying where it'll be like Activision games are banned on this platform. I don't think it will ever get to that. But the fact that they're pushing like this hard, I kind of want them to go further, and I kind of want them to really put some pressure on Activision.
Yeah, I agree. And Activision Call of Duty kind of kicked off because of the 360 era when Microsoft and them kind of did a partnership with there. So that kind of really helped the Call of Duty move itself forward to what we now know it as its powerhouse that it is today. So it is interesting that both Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer are calling them out. A little more numbers for you guys, just so you know. When I wrote this, it was more than 1,500 Activision Blizzard employees have signed a petition calling for Kotick's removal. That number is now over 1,750 or 1,750 signatures, which is really freaking awesome. Some of you might be asking, well, I mean, if this is going down, why aren't the board of directors doing anything? Well, they're not. They're not gonna. They've all been around Kotick for almost 20 years, and they've all made millions with him. They're not going away. And here is a quote from the board of directors themselves regarding Bobby Kotick. The Activision Blizzard board remains committed to the goal of making Activision Blizzard the most welcoming and inclusive company in the industry. Under Bobby Kotick's leadership, the company is already implementing industry-leading changes, including a zero-tolerance harassment policy, a dedication to achieving significant increases to the percentage of women and non-binary people in our workforce, and significant internal and external investments to accelerate opportunities for diverse talent. The board remains confident that Bobby Kotick appropriately addressed workplace issues brought to his attention. The goals we have set for ourselves are both critical and ambitious. The board remains confident in Bobby Kotick's leadership, commitment, and ability to achieve these goals. If that sounds familiar, I'm pretty sure I read that to you 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm going to redo this now for you. Activision Blizzard board remains committed to the goal of making so much damn money because of Bobby Kotick that we don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. That's it.
It's ridiculous. The only thing that will make these people move one way or the other is money and pressure that industry leaders put on them. So that's why I'm saying, I hope more people in the industry of high-ranking positions like Phil Spencer, like Jim Ryan, come out and speak against it, but also make actual moves, end partnerships, put sanctions on these motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Do something.
Because
put the Nintendo tax on them.
Yeah, while removing Bobby Kotick won't solve a lot of the problems, it will take a lot of changes, and it will take seeing the California state lawsuit go through and a bunch of things after that. It has to start with Bobby Kotick being held responsible, being removed from his position at the company to begin any changes, to be honest. Because while he's still in charge, you're allowing anything that happened under his leadership, including stuff that he himself may or may not have done, you're saying that's okay to do at this company, and that we'll continue to support it, and as long as you keep making money, which is quite frankly disgusting. And it's disheartening. But I really strive that Activision employees keep doing walkouts and signing these positions and making their voices heard.
Yes.
I also because the focus is on Activision right now as well. But Activision are by no means the only company going through this. No one's talking about Ubisoft right now.
Ubisoft got quiet. And I registered that, putting all this stuff together. And side note, go follow a better ABK. That is a Twitter account for the employees of Activision Blizzard King working together for change. Going through their Twitter account, which, yes, go follow them. There's also a better Ubisoft. And they're doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. Trying to make it better. So it's very interesting that Ubisoft got really, really quiet, or just not in the news, because this Bobby Kotick thing has really, really blown up. Mm-hmm. Before we move on, I would like to read everyone something real fast. Don't just please bear with me. Harassment. Don't do it. What it all comes down to is one simple yet so important word: respect. We all want to go to work feeling safe and comfortable when we step through the doors and interact with each other. It's an absolute necessity in order to work well together and achieve our goals. Each of us is expected to do our part to create a respectful workplace culture, one that is free of unlawful bias, harassment, intimidation, and discrimination of any kind. We do not tolerate these actions in any form, physical, verbal, or nonverbal, including remarks, gestures, or behavior relating to a legal protected characteristic that offends someone. Offensive comments, jokes, or pictures related to personal characteristics, sexual harassment like unwanted advances, inappropriate sexual jokes, sexual suggestive comments, inappropriate touching, requests for sexual favors, and inappropriate comments about another appearance. Remember, these are only a few examples. It is really important that you understand your local policy because the laws vary depending on where you are in the world. That beautiful quote was from Activision Blizzard's Code of Conduct. Suck it, Bobby Kotick.
Well said. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't
Be held
do
accountable.
And if you see someone do it, hold them accountable.
Hold them damn accountable.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. All right. Let's shake it off, guys. Let's shake it off. Let's go to something more fun. Let's go something. We got the downer down, the major downer down. I'm going to say it that way.
To be continued, I hope. I hope this keeps getting brought up on our podcast week after week until something is done.
Yes,
right?
100%.
I hope that the employees keep pushing, and just like solidarity with the employees of Activision Blizzard who are fighting.
100%. We are with you guys over there. All right. Look, we had a birthday last week. It was not mine. It was actually PlayStation 5's. And it was his first birthday. If you got it, congratulations. If you haven't, hopefully soon you'll get one. Probably not until 2023. Sorry about the chip shortage. All right, I'm pulling from GameStop's Eddie McCooch. The PlayStation 5 was released on this day last week, to celebrate the anniversary, Sony has announced new usage stats and revealed the most popular PlayStation 5 games so far. In a blog post, Sony's Jim Ryan confirmed that more than 360 games have been released on PlayStation 5 in the past year, and players have collectively spent more than 4.6 billion hours playing on PlayStation 5. Continuing on in the order, Ryan said, the PlayStation 5 enjoyed the biggest console launch in history, not just for Sony, it seems. I truly can't thank you enough for your support and dedication in this past year. Ryan said, I also want to thank everyone in the community for your patience. We continue to see historic demand for PlayStation 5, and we understand the inventory constraints, remain a source of frustration for many of our customers. Ryan said, rest assured that we are laser focused on doing everything in our power to ship as many units as possible. It's something we work on every day across the company and remains our top priority. Again, we appreciate your patience as we navigate through these unprecedented global challenges. Finn, I'm going to roll back up real fast, and I'm going to say one thing. Jim Ryan confirmed that more than 360 games have been released on PlayStation 5. Do you know what that means?
No.
It's time for a game, my friend. I know you love games. Let's do games. This is top 10 most played PS5 games in the first year.
I almost nailed this last time with Nintendo.
Nintendo, all right.
I'm wearing my PlayStation hoodie. I'm ready to go. Right. Let's go.
All right. So here we go. We have 10 games, the top 10 games in the first year that have been the most played. Finn, go ahead and start naming some, and I will tell you yes or no. And if it's yes, I will give you where it is on the actual map itself, or in the top 10.
FIFA 21.
FIFA 21, yes. Number 3.
Oh, I thought that would be number 1 for sure. Okay, Fortnite.
Yes. Number 1.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's going to be on the list. I don't know if it's more popular than FIFA, but Madden 21 or 22 or whatever one has been the past year.
No, I'm sorry. Madden is not on this one.
Madden is not on the top 10 list.
No, it is not. And just for context, letting everyone know, this is November 12th, 2020 to September 30th, 2021. Okay? I just want to make sure that this is where the stats came from. So no, Madden is not on this list.
NBA 2K21.
NBA 2K21. Number 4. Okay.
Number 4. What's number 2? Damn. Is it like another battle? Oh, is it Call of Duty Warzone?
It is not Warzone.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or whatever.
Whatever Black Ops, yeah. Cold War.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Number 2. You are correct, sir.
Okay. So I've won the 4. Okay. All right. Let me see. Have I rattled off all the sports games that are going to be... Oh, is MLB The Show on there?
Number 7, MLB The Show 21. Congratulations.
Oh, damn. Spider-Man Miles Morales was sort of the hit.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
All right.
Launch hit.
Number 8.
Where's that on the list? Number 8, damn. Demon's Souls was up there too, for sure.
Number 9.
Nice. Okay, how many do I have left?
You have 3 left. 5,
3 left.
6, and 10.
Run out of PS5 games. Okay, these have got to be like, I don't think there's any more first-party ones to hit. I don't think Returnal will be up there. So I'm not saying that.
I will give you that much. There are no more PlayStation 5 exclusives on this list.
Damn. Okay, so it's got to be third-party stuff. Is it possible that there's... hold on. Okay, I don't know which one is the latest one, but is there a Battlefield game there?
There is not. I will give you one hint for number 5. It was our biggest AAA that we were supposed to actually review.
Oh, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Of course that's up there. Yes.
Number 5.
Yes. Did really well for Ubisoft, that one did. All right, so there's 2 left.
Yes.
They're not sports games.
One is a sports game.
Okay.
One is one you did, but it's a new entry.
Oh, really? Is it Madden?
No.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
What sports? Is it NBA again?
NBA 2K22, number 10.
That franchise is insane, off the charts. So I have
Last
one more.
one. You got number 6. One more.
There hasn't been a Gran Turismo game yet. It's gotta be like it's gotta be like a free to play. It's not Fall Guys, is it?
It is not Fall. Ooh, good guess though. It is not Fall Guys.
It's gotta be something like free to play. I'm thinking maybe like a multiplayer little thing.
Ooh, okay, all right. I will say multiplayer is a good guess. I'm pretty sure it's gone free to play now. I think it went free to play like a year and a half ago.
Destiny?
Ding, 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 ding. Number 6, Destiny 2.
I was almost going to say Among Us, but yeah, I didn't feel big enough.
All right, from 10 to 1.
Into PS5 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, from number 10 to number 1. Number 10, we had NBA 2K22. Number 9, Demon's Souls. Number 8, Miles Morales. Number 7, NBA The Show 21. Number 6, Destiny 2. 5, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 4, NBA 2K21. 3 was FIFA 21. 2, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Number 1 was Fortnite. Finn, I have a huge question for you. Well, maybe not directly at you, but I have a huge question for you, PlayStation fanboys. Where are your exclusives at, dog? It is a hill you will die on. And there's no Ratchet and Clank. There is no Returnal. You have 2 PlayStation exclusives on your most played top 10 on the PlayStation 5. Miles Morales and Demon's Souls. Everything else you can play on PC or Xbox. And unfortunately Switch on some of these games.
Yeah.
FIFA. That one, I brought that up because that actually blows my mind. Like, you hear the discourse when it comes to the console war, and it's like, oh, PlayStation has the exclusives, yet PlayStation fans are not playing their exclusives. And I found that, like, the stats of that actually just absolutely interesting. Of those 10, like, I named a couple. Are there any that you find that are missing, Finn? Shocking that aren't there.
I want to know where Bugsnax is.
Bugsnax.
Bugsnax is not on the top 50, guaranteed. Guaranteed Bugsnax is not in the top 50.
That's
and I love Bugsnax. I really love Bugsnax.
I did too. Bugsnax was great.
The fact that Madden isn't on there, what happened to Madden? Did something happen? Is it broken?
No, nothing I'm aware of.
I was for sure, I for sure thought it was bigger than NBA, but I guess not. Maybe NBA has more international appeal now. I don't know. That was the only thing I was like, I thought that was for sure going to be on the list. With regards to exclusives, there are a few reasons. They cost money. Number 1 on that list is a free-to-play game, and
that's very true. I'm not going to give anyone crap on that one. I understand the Fortnite love. I get it.
B, they're not a games as a service, so largely you play through them once, and then you're done.
True.
Right? Or like you play through half of it and never get back to it because your backlog is massive. Whereas like,
I feel attacked, Finn. Jesus.
Whereas, multiplayer games, you like, go in them like Fortnite, you play a few rounds, you play 15 minutes, and then you jump out. It's like low barrier to entry. You're dipping in, you're dipping out, and then you end up playing more as a result anyway. So, yeah, I think it's a mixture of that. But I think this is something that's on PlayStation Studios' minds. I'm sure they would want more playtime. And that's why they're looking big into multiplayer games as a service. That's why they're partnering with studios that are outside of their wheelhouse, right? Because none of their first-party studios specialize in multiplayer games, right? No. So they're trying to get into that market so that they can populate, hopefully, their top 10 lists with at least 5 PlayStation Studios games, as opposed to, 2?
Yeah, 2. There was only 2 there, which... I mean, Demon's Souls made sense, and Miles Morales made sense, but I was like, man, I figured, like, Returnal or something would have been in there that would have cracked the top 10 at least. But yeah, that one just blows my mind. I think, personally, too, I think Returnal probably is the one that I'm like, wow, I'm impressed that one's not in there, because that's the missing game, and I'm like, everyone jumped on that one, because we all love Housemarque. So it's kind of like, man, I figured that one would be there, but that's my biggest shocking one of that one. Everything else kind of made sense. And yeah, you're right. Fortnite, free to play. So that makes sense. I was just like, I saw that and I found that very, very interesting.
Yeah. I love stuff like that. I love knowing these stats.
Yeah.
It keeps me in tuned with the Gamer Nation out there and what's hip.
What's going on, Gamer Nation? Subscribe to Now to Play Games. I almost called it the old channel. Oh my God. So that's why I blanked. I was like, it's not Couchcapades. I'm not that. I am hosting Now to Play Games.
Yep. Different show.
Different show. All right, Finn. I know you have some Rockstar news you need to talk to us about. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, this is something probably out of our list, probably the most talked about thing of all this week in games is the very disappointing release of GTA the trilogy, the definitive edition. 2 subtitles on that one. This was, if you've seen our latest episode of Playdate, which you should go check out, we were looking at the games in November releasing. This is the one I gave the nod. This was like for sure a hit. Which seemingly now, I guess when I give a game a nod, that's the kiss of death. Because I've done this a few times with games and they've ended up being crap. So I don't know if I should maybe stop doing that for the sake of the developers involved. But yeah, I didn't even end up picking it up because I just saw people's impressions of it. And yeah, right now it's sitting with the worst game Metacritic user score of all time, a 0.6. It was a 0.5 earlier. This is out of 100.
Yeah.
Mind you. So yeah, lots of bugs, lots of different things going on in there. Character models looking like weirdly cartoony and stretched and like cute in weird ways, like when they shouldn't be. Like instead of like rough gangster looking people, like or mobsters or whatever, they're like just like weirdly stretched out and it's like Botoxed or something. It's so bizarre, and there are so many like weird dumb issues with it. One of the things that people call it as well, on the PC version, there was a bunch of files left in it that shouldn't be there, including a popular sex mod that was added to the original ones, that all the files were left in for that. Unlicensed tracks, because some of the tracks they couldn't, or I say they couldn't get licensed, they didn't bother to license for this definitive edition. So yeah, it's just played with a lot of different things happening. And yeah, so they actually pulled the PC release for a while. It's now back up there. But yeah, Rockstar had to issue a response to all the complaints that were going on. And so they said, and I quote, "Firstly, we want to sincerely apologize to everyone who has encountered issues playing these games. The updated versions of these classic games did not launch in a state that meets our own standards of quality or the standards of our fans have come to expect. We have ongoing plans to address the technical issues and to improve each game going forward. With each planned update, the game will reach a level of quality that they deserve to be." A new title update is on the way in the coming days for all versions of GTA, the trilogy, the definitive edition, that will address a number of issues. We will update everyone as soon as it is live. That update has now went live. It fixes over 50 issues. There's still a lot in there to fix still. But they fixed the rain, which was apparently a big deal. The rain wasn't working.
Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah. They also said, and this is an important thing I want people to pay attention to, in the meantime, it pains us to mention that we are hearing reports of members of the development teams being harassed on social media, we would kindly ask our community to please maintain a respectful and civil discourse around this release as we work through these issues. Don't do that, people.
Don't do that.
Come on now. While one of the goals of the Definitive Edition was to allow players to enjoy these games on modern platforms for many years to come, we also understand that some of you would still like to have the previous classic versions available to purchase. Yes, we would. And they have since added them back to PC. I don't know if they've added them back to consoles, but yeah, the original versions are now there on PC as well. Additionally, everyone who has purchased GTA, the trilogy, the Definitive Edition for PC from Rockstar Store, yeah, it's only available on the Rockstar Store.
Yeah, that's weird.
Thing that I don't like, but that's not even in the top 10 list of things wrong with this game. Through June 30th, 2022, will receive the classic versions in their Rockstar Games launcher library at no additional cost. We will update everyone as soon as they are back in the Rockstar Store. Once again, we would like to thank everyone for their patience and understanding while we work through these updates and ensure these games meet everyone's justifiably high standards. John, this seemed like a home run, like an easy, you just hit it out of the park. It's just lobbed up for you.
You don't have to do much when it came to the trilogy, the Definitive Edition. You didn't have to do much, Rockstar. Clean it up, make it look good. The character models, I didn't have a problem with. The release version of them, okay, that's a little weird. The rain and just the amount of code that you just kind of left in, which happens more so than people really want to admit. That they just like, all right, this is going to work. Code still stays, but it just gets locked away, or not locked away, but just it doesn't affect the game. How did you let this release so bad? Activision? I was going to say Rockstar. It is Rockstar. Sorry, I'm still stuck on Activision. It is a Rockstar. Holy shit. I've seen it online, and I've seen people like comparing this to Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah, I've seen it, and I'm like, you know what?
The Cyberpunk of 2021. And yeah, for sure. Because, well, even like Rockstar is so rich. Like, so goddamn rich. And it's like, how do you not just take the extra time? Because I remember it explains a lot as well, like why they weren't showing a whole lot initially with the initial teaser trailers and stuff. And I remember that first teaser trailer where they showed no gameplay at all. And I was like, I'm sent it to my friends and like, look, they're remastering these games. Isn't this exciting? One of my friends said, this better look at least as good as GTA 5. And I was like, it's not going to look that good. That's what my expectations were. I was like, they're not going to look that good. That would be a remake at that point. This is just a remaster. It's just going to look a bit more cartoony, a bit like there'd be better lighting, but the textures will be largely like still quite old because of just the nature of how those games work and how old they are. But like my expectations were quite low. Like all I needed to do was up-res essentially. And they somehow failed to miss even that. And like there are so many glaring issues. And even like stuff that they didn't bought, like the unlicensed tracks, like I don't know how you can call something definitive if you just don't include some of the content that was initially available in the games. Yeah. Like so many tracks were just unlicensed. And that's half the reason like GTA was so revolutionary at the time is because these licensed tracks in the radio playing. That's such a big part of GTA for me. How they messed this up.
And Woozy in chat, I see it. I looked it up. It's called Groove Street Games. The Definitive Edition, developed by Groove Street Games, launched last week and met with a backlash for progression crashes, bugs, poor performance across all platforms, and a host of art concerns.
Yeah, so it's actually Groove Street Games. They were a studio that had previously worked on like not remasters, but like just porting versions of GTA San Andreas 3 and Vice City to modern platforms. And like they had the same issues, like again, missing unlicensed tracks, lots and lots of bugs everywhere where there shouldn't be. And that same studio had just been rebranded into Grove Street Games for this. Yeah. And so a lot of people are like, why are you surprised? It's the same studio that messed everything up before.
Do you think this was rushed, by the way? Like, I mean, we can't really blame the developers. So they were doing what they could. If this many bugs was in there, QA testers probably caught it. But is this kind of one of those meddling concepts of higher ups was like, no, we just got to get it out to appease the people because GTA 6 is still like 22 years away?
This was definitely I think that like they placed it in Q4 for a reason. It's because like people are buying sales, people are like getting new consoles for the first time, and they wanted like another GTA on there for sure.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like it's rushed because no one was rushing you. Right?
Yeah, that's a kicker. Like no one was technically rushing you. Yeah, you pushed GTA 5, the now gen versions of PS5 and Xbox Series X versions to 2022, which that happens, not a big deal. But then it felt like, all right, we pushed that back. Let's move the definitive edition forward and go, because like you said, there was nothing that showed us what the gameplay was like until 2 weeks before the game came out. We got an actual trailer. But I don't know, there seems like there's this personal rush to it, because it's I didn't think we were going to get other people going, oh, this is the Cyberpunk of 2021. I was like, all right, someone had to have learned from Cyberpunk and be like, let's pump the brakes. Let's make sure it's if bugs are going to happen, they're understandable and we can patch them out. Not, I can't see a damn thing because it's heavy rain happening and I can't even see my hand in front of my face, or character models are so deformed that it just makes the game to a point unplayable.
I think they're trying to No Man's Sky this, which is kind of annoying because like Hello Games, who developed No Man's Sky, are an indie company, and Rockstar are a $1 billion company.
Yeah. There's like, a huge difference between those two.
They clearly knew this game wasn't ready, and they pushed it out anyway. And they were like, people will pay for it, and we'll fix it down the line, and we'll keep doing updates, which is annoying.
It feels like that is now something we all need to like strap in and prepare, is like, yeah, games don't release finished. We get day 0 patches. We get day 1 patches.
I don't want that, because like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to condition us.
Yeah, they really are. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just pointing it out there. Like we are a gaming podcast. We got to let people know, like we have to look into the future, and we're like, this is the thing that everyone needs to be prepared for. Like it's all right, download the game, or I'm coming home to pop in my new game I got the disc of. Oh shit, there's a 120 gig patch that it has to go through because the game wasn't finished. And this is just, it is a conditioning concept that we've been going through since the middle of last gen now, if I think about it. And it's just, it's weird.
So what should I look at this and try and use it as a learning process, right, John?
Yeah.
What lessons could like Rockstar and other companies learn about the launch of GTA, the Definitive Edition? Because it's been everything people have been talking about for the past week, it seems, since it launched. Like, just absolutely panning it. I feel like, maybe don't get rid of old versions of games that actually work when you know this isn't going to work. That's like lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is obviously, like, please stop trying to early access your games while not having the early access tag.
Yeah. I like your idea of if you're going to give us a definitive edition, allow us to still buy the regular edition that we like, because some people just don't care about like definitive up-res editions. Those are all really just big buzzwords. Yeah, we get excited about you, and I get excited about Rose, Keith, Finn, Tim. We all get excited about definitive, remake, and all that stuff because we get to see a new lens on games we love. But that doesn't mean we're legitimately forgetting about the games behind us, that why we're here. The second one is just delay your damn game. I think in PR stance, I would be more okay taking the beating up front and going, hey guys, I'm sorry, we're pushing the game back a couple months. We got to make sure it's right for you. What does that sound like? I just said that. Does that make you feel good? I'm looking at you, gamers. I'm looking at all the game that you love, that me, insert development company, is going, hey, I'm delaying this. We are delaying this to make sure it is good for you, so you can play it how it needs to be played, instead of, here you go, and then I'm going to give you everything else after we're done, and you're going to pan me during the whole process. Like, you're not going to win you're never going to win favor with everyone. But I guarantee you delay it, you win favor with most. It's a little bit of a beating up front and praise and glory on the back end, which that's what people want. That's what people remember.
Yeah.
And Woos is right. You don't buy your games at launch. Wait a year. They're going to be half off anyway, and it's going to be how it needs to be played.
I feel like that's always been Rockstar's stance on this thing, is delay instead of release buggy. Like, they always delay their stuff, whether it's like online component for GTA 5 when that game first came out, or Red Dead Redemption 2, or GTA 5 itself. Like, they have no hesitation to just delay games down the line. For this, they were like, nah.
Just get it out there.
November, we need it.
Yeah, we need something out there. Let's do it. I don't get it, man. I really don't. And I think they just, hopefully they learn. Hopefully others learn from it and just go, we take the Nintendo approach. Damn, I don't give a crap. We still don't know anything about Metroid Prime 4. Mm-hmm. They literally said, we're sorry, it needs to be reworked, and shut up about it.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yes, move on. Give us some good news.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up this story. So we're starting this off with the anniversary celebration of Xbox as it reaches 20 years, which is crazy to think about, first of all. They had a little 30-minute stream just to celebrate everything and announce some stuff. They start off with a teaser trailer for the long-awaited, and I mean long-awaited, live-action Halo TV series to debut on 2022 on Paramount Plus.
Boo.
This is, I believe, has the same DNA as the Halo live-action series that got announced when the Xbox One was announced, but not directed by Steven Spielberg anymore. But that has been carried on since. Why'd you be Paramount Plus? We don't have that over here, so I don't know.
I just don't like that I have to buy another service to get that. That's all. No, I have no problem with it. I understand the services and the money and all that stuff. I get it. I just was like, all right, now with the Halo series, and then Rose really likes Star Trek. Now I actually have to buy Halo or Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
that's all.
I wonder if that's going to be good. We'll see. They announced 70 new Xbox and Xbox 360 titles were added to the backwards compatibility program. It was also revealed that this would be the final additions to Xbox and Xbox 360, as the team cite licensing, legal, and technical constraints. So no more Xbox and Xbox 360 games to be added to that. I believe Xbox One onward just works with backwards compatibility no matter what it is anyway. So that's that. So yeah, a lot of titles available on that. It was also in the mix. This is a sort of separate thing. This wasn't on the 20th anniversary stream, but Phil Spencer did call for industry-wide games preservation. He said, "My hope, and I think I have to present it in a way, present it that way as of now, is an industry we'd work on legal emulation that allowed modern hardware to run any, within reason, older executable, allowing someone to play any game," he wrote in a direct message. So clearly, despite the fact that this is the last backwards compatibility push, games preservation and backwards compatibility is still something that's very, very important to him.
I love that. I think that's great. Thank you, Papa Phil.
Yeah. For sure. Imagine just the contrast of that statement and everything Nintendo does.
Yeah.
Right? My God. They also talked about a 6-part docuseries called Power On, the story of Xbox, that goes behind the scene with the creation of the original Xbox, and that will start streaming on digital platforms on the 13th of December. Well, it's kind of interesting from the trailer. I think there's a lot of melodrama, like, oh my God, the Xbox was never going to work, and we had to cobble together sticks and stones to make this thing run. It's a bit hyped up, but it seems quite interesting. I'd like to go into that. Rock the Dwayne Johnson was there to promote the new Netflix movie Red Notice and to give away some Xbox swag. He reminisces about his guest appearance during the initial Xbox reveal alongside Bill Gates, and he reveals there is a giveaway of a commemorative oil painting that I really, really want.
I actually really want that oil painting too.
It's really, really
that
good.
That looks great.
I want that on this wall for every podcast.
Yep.
I could just reference it.
I've got a little wall space right here that will work perfectly for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to lay the smackdown on PlayStation by the looks of that photo. And so all those announcements were part of the big lead up to probably the biggest announcement. Oh, before we get on to that, a quick glance, if you will. Okay. This was separate from the Xbox 20 stuff, but they also announced that the Xbox PC app will now let you install PC mods and access game install folders on PC.
Fantastic. fantastic.
Super good. Yeah, because like you couldn't, like even Skyrim and stuff, you couldn't do mods on if you were doing it through the Xbox app. The fact that they're allowing this is so important and will make them even more competitive with Steam. That was a glance. But yeah, perhaps the biggest announcement of all of this was that they shadow dropped Halo Infinite Multiplayer Season 1 beta. It's free to play. It's a beta. It's available on Xbox and PC, including Steam right now. Progression will carry over to the proper launch on the 8th of December. Single-player campaign is still going to launch on the 8th of December, and also recently announced that has gone gold.
And by the looks of it, everyone's loving it. Yeah, I'm seeing positive.
We're going to move on from that. I'm not even going to get into that. we can just get there.
Not even going to touch that one, huh? All right, that's fine. It's fine.
And also campaign co-op mode and Forge mode won't release until at least May 2022 when they wrap up Season 1 of this multiplayer. John, probably the biggest shadow drop of the year for sure.
Yes, 100%.
Was it the right call?
100%. Yes, I think so. I think because that was Halo Day, and everyone, like, we start Halo single player was just transformative in how first person shooters were like made and what they were all about. And then you get the multiplayer concept of Halo, which is still touted as some of the best, period. And and Microsoft and Big Papa Phil and everyone at 343 was like, bam, you get it. It's yours. Have fun. And remember, it's free. You're damn right is the right call. We're going to be talking about Halo. This leads us right into Halo campaign, which then leads us into whenever they announce co-op and Forge mode. Mm-hmm. I think this is a weird power move against both Call of Duty and Battlefield. I think they have literally just taken the steam, no pun intended, out of this, or the wind out of their sails from those two games, and like, hey, it's here, it works. Everyone enjoys the hell out of it. I've watched a little gameplay. I need to download it. I don't know, maybe not to play games. I need to do a little stream with it. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm not very good at Halo multiplayer, but I will play with you guys.
Nor am I.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a great time.
Yeah, we'll play.
But I think this was just the biggest power move on one of the biggest shadow drops we could have had in gaming, period.
A power move for sure, John. It's something that makes me wonder, because the success of this game has just been amplified by the fact that Call of Duty and Battlefield both released this month, and they both, for lack of a better word, flopped.
Yes.
Right? Call of Duty below expectations. Battlefield below pretty big expectations.
Yeah.
And so Halo seems like a saving grace for multiplayer shooters in this month. And it makes me wonder, actually, if this was always the plan, or did someone at 343 call up Phil Spencer and was like, hey, yeah, no, EA and Activision, they dropped the ball.
We're ready to go.
Release this now. It's ready to go.
It's just a button, Phil. We just got to press the button.
Yeah, we just got to click upload. We're good to go. Let's do this.
Phil's like, are you sure? 100%. Have you seen what's been going on? Can we afford not to? Yeah, we don't want to pull a Rockstar. We know what's happening. You good? All right, I'm going to trust you guys. And then Papa Phil comes and he's the savior of gaming. I don't know. I liked the idea of it was, we have lightning in a bottle and we can drop the lightning on everyone and just control the conversation of gaming. The other part of me likes the idea that Phil and everyone on the team, the Xbox team, was like we've been planning this for months, and it just so happened, like happenstance, as everything else has been sucking lately, and it's go time now.
Yeah,
I like both. I like both ideas.
Little bit of some stats for how well the launch did. This was 2.5 hours after the Halo Infinite multiplayer released on Steam. Had already surpassed 162,000 peak concurrent users on Steam. That makes it the most successful Xbox Game Studios title of all time on Steam. Halo Master Chief Collection hit 161,000 peak concurrent users. Forza Horizon 5 hit 81,000. Worth noting that pretty much every other Xbox Game Studio game on Steam before had been paid. This is free, so that helps a lot.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Also the fact that it's shadow dropped and everyone was trying to do it at once. Yep. But yeah, super successful. It has been over 200,000 peak concurrent users every day since it released. So people are loving it so far. Impressions seem pretty good. Largely, people are enjoying it. It's Halo. The only thing that people seem to be like weird out about is the battle pass system seemingly being a little bit old, but they're working on that, and
they've already fixed it.
Yeah, they've released the battle pass. They've released other thing.
They've patched that, which that shows that 343 and Xbox is really like listening to us as gamers. Like, hey, this isn't working like we thought, and they're like, oh crap, all right, what can we do? That's a good idea. Let's go and workshop it and get it fixed for you guys. And they have actually really worked on that community aspect of the game of just, hey, it's not working for you guys. The only way you can get XP is by doing like these checkmark things of how you have to do it, not just winning the game. All right, we'll change it up to accommodate that style of play, since you're not one of those people who are like, oh, go destroy a warthog with a grenade or something like that. So I think that's really cool.
And so the common thread I'm trying to bridge between all of these Xbox stores, including the one I'm going to mention in a sec, is that in a week of people just dropping the ball, taking advantage of their audience, just being generally scummy, and just completely like losing out on things that should be easy wins. Xbox is just appealing to their fan base, seemingly making the right moves at every step. And it's just good to see them getting recognition for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been building a lot of this stuff up for years now, since probably the beginning of the Xbox One and the fall of Don Matrick to the time that Phil Spencer was appointed head of Xbox. They've been building something. And it's great that they're finally getting to pay off. And one of the ways it's paying off is that, as we're going to get into, the Game Awards announced their nominations this year. The most nominations for a publisher, and it wasn't even close, was Xbox and Bethesda, at 20 nominations across all awards this year, which is insane.
That is insane.
Got the most of those with 9. Psychonauts got 5. Forza Horizon 5 got 3. And then also Age of Empires 4, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Starfield as most anticipated game. The next highest was Sony Interactive Entertainment with 11. So if you want to talk about PlayStation versus Xbox first-party games these days, you know.
And especially with Deathloop being in a very weird position, because it is now technically an Xbox Game Studios game that is exclusive on PlayStation. It's a weird, we live in that world right now. And I just, it blows my mind when I think about that stuff. It really, really blows my mind.
And so after all this, I have to ask John, looking back over the 20 years of Xbox that we've had so far.
Yeah.
Are they currently in the strongest position they've been in during
100%.
That time? Yeah.
100%. I think, you know, I will get flack because I know I'm the one that plays the most Xbox games when it comes to now to play games. Everyone else is on PlayStation, which is fine. I love the balance that we have of this one. And as someone, like, I see it. PlayStation has better exclusives. I fully admit that's why I have a PlayStation 5 as well. They have some kick-ass exclusives. But you know what? It's finally coming together, baby. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
It is finally coming to everything that people were like, oh, they're buying up all these games. What are they going to do? You know what they did? They did Game Pass. You know what they did? They are just they're backing the developers with the money they have to make games, to be able to let you play your games wherever you want and to make good games. I am extremely excited about the future of Xbox. It is absolutely ridiculous. To a point. Here, I'll be absolutely honest with everyone around. To a point that right now, you know, we always talk about, like, I got to find another PlayStation 5 for Rose because that's where she plays her games on. Guess what? That's on the back burner. I'm now trying to hunt down a Series X for Rose so she can jump on Game Pass. So she can find the games she wants to play, those indie games that Microsoft is really pushing, trying to help those indie games out. Like, they're at this point of, like, everything they do is good. Between accessibility and gaming, the cool controller they did last year. I watched the what was it, a couple weeks ago, where they were talking about just all the accessibility stuff that they're doing and how they make it work, and how Forza's putting in a freaking sign language interpreter. Come on. Thinking about people to play games so more people can play your games. It's not hard science. It's not hard math. Done. God,
it's really,
so good.
Inspiring. And I'm glad, like, this is just, in terms of, like, just Xbox Game Studios, this is just the beginning. We're going to see more and more announcements and stuff coming up. Like, they're really at the beginning point. They're still getting their ducks in a row with that stuff. And even now, they're in a really, really strong position. They need to be if they're going to keep Game Pass sustainable. But they're clearly making all the right moves. And you love to see it.
I see you in chat, and I agree. Just think if Xbox taps into Japan, oh my God. Oh my God, that'd be great. I would freaking love that.
Once cloud gaming hits,
yep,
and it's going to hit first in Japan, Xbox is going to be a real force in that market. Because mobile gaming, like playing Xbox games on the go, on a phone, on a little handheld, maybe on a Switch.
Maybe on a Switch. Maybe who knows?
Would be amazing.
Yep. No, I think that's great.
Steam Deck.
Honestly, I'm actually excited to put Game Pass on my Steam Deck when it comes. I'm so pumped about that. I think that'd be great. I ran off screen. No one could see it. I wanted to actually show something real fast.
Don't you mean my Steam Deck?
Yeah, Rose is probably going to steal my Steam Deck. I'm going to be absolutely honest.
My Steam Deck, not yours.
I'm going to have to buy another one. Atlas, the Xbox and Sega thing is very exciting. I also like that Sega came out and said, hey, it's not meaning that Xbox is getting exclusives or any of that crap. But I just like that we're starting to see more pieces fall together when it comes to Xbox expanding out gaming and trying to get different markets to just give you games. But we were talking about, it's the 20th anniversary. Go ahead, Finn.
No, it was just because you brought it up and Woozy brought it up in chat. You've toyed about this idea as well of Xbox buying Sega. Sega is not someone you can buy because Sega isn't just their gaming division. It's also this like weird giant like arcade thing and also like resorts and accommodation. It's like this big global conglomerate. They're not for sale, but you can make a partnership with them. They already have one partnership in the go. They can make another one that's like a bit more intimate, you know? Yep.
We can go on a couple dates, see what it's like. But yeah, real fast, it is the 20th anniversary. I think Xbox kicks ass when it comes to their controllers. So I actually went out and bought the 20th anniversary Xbox Series X controller. And
that's nice.
Looks absolutely amazing. I just popped it open. Let's take a look real fast sorry, all you audio listeners who are doing this right now.
Live unboxings.
Love doing a live unboxing. I like to collect stuff. And oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's real nice. That's really nice.
Is amazing. I like the frosted. The green is throwback to the original Xbox. I absolutely love that.
Very, very nice. Oh
yeah. That.
Put it away, John. Put the kids to bed.
Oh my God. It doesn't get sexier than that. It's got a nice grip to it. It's a little bumpy on the backside. Don't take that out of context. Oh man, I love it. It is weird. We're getting weird. Welcome to Now to Play Games. All right, let's finish this up with some more positive news. Let's talk about the Game of the Year, the Game Awards. They announced their nominations earlier this week. It is absolutely fantastic. We are going to be doing a live reaction to the whole show, so mark your calendars for December 9th and or 10th, because I think you're the 10th, right, Finn? Because it's so late for you?
Yeah, it'll be way late for me.
Way late, yeah. So the whole Now to Play crew is working on their personal and overall Game of the Year, so please look forward to that. I'm sure there's going to be some knockout, drag-out fights for some of this and all of it. Still trying to figure out if we're going to stream it or just put a video out for the YouTube channel, so please go to the Now to Play Games YouTube channel and subscribe to that. So let's take a look at these announcements. We'll power through them real fast. We're not going to do all of them. There are 30 categories. We're going to take, I think I grabbed 6 and just kind of talk about them real fast, see what we think.
And they're all the esports categories. And they're starting off with best esports host.
Esports categories. Let's freaking go. Now, first off, let's start with Content Creator of the Year. We got to talk about this one, all right? Couch Capades isn't on there, so I don't give a shit. Let's keep on going. Best Action Adventure Game. We have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. Now, Finn, you wanted me to bring this one up, and please explain to the people why you wanted me to do the Best Action Adventure Game.
I could be wrong, but I believe every year in the Game Awards, the game that wins Best Action Adventure also wins Game of the Year. And yeah, I think it's all but 1 year. I think maybe the year that Sekiro won, something else won Best Action Adventure. Might be wrong with that, but most of the time it's a pretty good indicator because, like, what even is action adventure, right? Exactly. When you think about it, it's a weird category that doesn't even really exist. So you're basically just giving Game of the Year at that point. And
there's a Best Action Game too, so it's kind of like, what's these two? It happens.
Most of the nominees are crossed over as well, so yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is on that list where it isn't on Game of the Year list,
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Still loving that game, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy, absolutely fantastic. Oh, and I beat.
So there's not to just be an ad, but Black Friday sales are going on right now, and Guardians of the Galaxy is real cheap.
Yeah,
really, really cheap.
Go pick that one up. I'm going to let you guys know. I was actually not going to do the ad, but I was going to say I know Ratchet and Clank is actually on sale, pretty good price, and I was like, I'm going to pick that up because that's I think one of the only game of the years that I have not played yet, and I'm actually looking at playing it next week.
Bought Tales of Arise last night in the Black Friday deals.
Ooh.
Probably won't play it before our goodies, but
yeah.
I'll pretend to for Keith's sake.
There you go. All right, for Keith's sake, let's continue on. I put in best role-playing. This is specifically for Keith and some of us. We've got Cyberpunk 2077, Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus. Finn is laughing. We'll get back to that here in just a second. Shin Megami Tensei 5. And Tales of Arise. Finn, why were you laughing? Because I said Cyberpunk 2077?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Best role-playing game.
Contention for the best role-playing game of the year, John.
It announced it dropped late. It was not available for Game of the Year.
Right, but it's in contention at all. That's hilarious. All right. Yeah, we can move on from that. Anything else should win.
Yeah,
I have not played any of the games on this list. Anything else should win.
I mean,
Scarlet Nexus, give it to
me. Go ahead and do that. I played Monster Hunter Rise. I like that. I'm seeing SMT5 in chat. Innovations in accessibility. We've got Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, The Veil, Shadow of the Crown. What the hell is that game?
This is why, John, I love the Game Award nominations, because there's
always
something on there that you've never heard about, and clearly, they have people games outlets nominating these things, and they know, but we don't. We've somehow completely missed The Veil, the Shadow of the Crown.
I was just I read that, and I can see the picture on our stream, and I'm like, I don't even know what this game is. I've never heard of this game before.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into why that's doing so well in accessibility to be up there with these big things. Because I've played, I've looked into Forza Horizon 5. Obviously, has a lot of great options, accessibility or otherwise, which is just great. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I remember. It's pretty much a staple of PlayStation Studios games now that they have a lot of accessibility options. So that's good to see. I haven't seen what Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy have done, but maybe.
I will be honest on that one. That one caught me off guard. I know there's a little bit. I just don't, I didn't really jump into it as much because I was just trying to get into the game. So I'll have to go back on that one and just be like, hey, what accessibility do you have in this? Because I think that's absolutely great. I know the color schemes and whatnot. I do remember that. So I think that's great. Here at Now to Play Games, we do love our indie games. So of course I had to put the best indie. Your nominations are 12 Minutes, Death's Door, Inscription, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, and Loop Hero. This one is hard for me because I love Death's Door. I truly love Death's Door. I'm actually shocked it's not on Game of the Year. But Kenna was great.
Really?
Yeah, I loved Kenna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
loved it. So that you would put it up there with Death's Door.
I would say Death's Door still will win for me.
Yeah.
But Kenna's right there, and then I won't have time, but I would love to get into Inscription because it's by the developer who did Pony Island, if I'm remembering the correct developer, and I loved Pony Island. I thought that game was just a trip and a half. So I would like to see how he pulled off, or how that developer pulled off a card game.
Really surprised 12 Minutes is on there after the reception it got.
Yeah, me too. I think that's probably just the star power of that one. That would probably kind of push it through there. Best narrative. We've got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2.
I take this sort of will bleed into probably. Well, I wonder. I take objection to the fact that Deathloop is on that list.
I do too.
Deathloop does not have a narrative; it has lore.
Yes.
Well, lore and story are not the same thing. Please stop trying to pass notes and audio logs off a story.
No, I'm not going to give you, I am not going to give you shit on that one. I think you are 100% correct. I think we're learning about everything that happened on the island. We're not, we're engaged with a different story comparative to what happens on the island. And I 100% agree with you with that one.
It has great performances, and fair enough, there's 2 people from this game nominated for Best Performance, and I'll give you that. But narrative, no way. Not a chance.
And the big one. Game of the Year. We got Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. I don't know, man. I have actually played 2 games. Oh, so I got to get Psychonauts 2 and I got to get Rift Apart.
Mm-hmm. I won't give away.
No, don't please don't.
Who I want to win, because I'm saving that for our goodies and I want to keep you guys on your toes when it comes to nominees and stuff. I think this is just personally who I think will win, based off of what I have played. And I think it's going to be Metroid Dread.
It's going to be interesting. I'll be honest. I'm gonna take myself out of this and just look at it from terms of just enjoyable games and how it actually worked, characters and all that crap. I think Metroid Dread has probably the best chance to actually win it. I will say the biggest dark horse in this whole thing, though, is It Takes Two. I think It Takes Two just changed the concept of games in general and how they actually think,
John, about if It Takes Two wins, Joseph Fares gets to have the speech.
Are you shitting me? That alone makes the Game Awards 100% worth it just to see Joseph Fares go off.
Please watch our reactions.
If Joseph Fares wins Game of the Year, we all shut the hell up and give that man his due.
Fuck the Oscars, fuck the Golden Globes, fuck everything.
I beat every AAA studio. F you Nintendo, F you Xbox. I did it. I would love nothing more. He would be the ultimate meme, and I would never be upset with my life because I got to experience that live.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
All right, real fast. Is there anything on the Game of the Year list, just specifically Game of the Year list, that you think is missing? I've seen people bitch about Forza, and I do like that Jeff Keighley came out and said, well, I mean, it could have been, but because of how close it was to the nominations and when it came out, and it just didn't get its due. I understand that. That kind of sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think it'd get nominated for anything. I thought it was way too close to nominations to be on the list.
Then they would have had to take out SMT5 as well.
Right?
Isn't that weird? After Forza Horizon 5? Yeah.
It's released on the same day.
Yeah.
So and SMT5 got role-playing, and then I know Forza is in Best Sport, or I don't know if there's a car simulation one as well, but I know it's at least 1 or 2 nominations.
Right. Because, the thing is, as well, you have to remember that it's mostly, outlets like IGN and stuff that do these things, and they have each their own internal way of classifying their own game. So, they take their own internal votes or whatever to send off to Keighley and all them. Yeah. And then, I think different categories are weighted differently to, obviously accessibility. They lean on, accessibility experts and accessibility websites for that kind of stuff to really take into account that stuff. And, I think for racing and simulation, there are specific outlets they look for that as well. Whereas Game of the Year, I think, is general to all outlets. Maybe not all of them would have gotten the chance to play Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
So there's that amount of it too. It's a whole process. And Keighley does well every year with the stuff and managing it. I'm pretty happy mostly across the board with everything that got nominated this year across categories.
Okay.
But stuff that's missing. The only thing, I wouldn't know, but Shin Megami Tensei 5 and Tales of Arise, the people who have played those games love those games. And so
I'm actually surprised about Tales of Arise.
JRPGs just kind of get snubbed because people from the West don't play them. And this is very much a Western-facing show. Yeah. So...
And I agree. I'm surprised actually Monster Hunter Rise didn't get a little bit more out of that one, because that came out in March. Plenty of time. Everyone loved it. It was a great pickup. Reviewed well. Everyone enjoyed it. So I'm surprised that's not even in more than... I'm surprised it's actually not in Game of the Year, honestly.
I'm also very surprised that Best Narrative does not include The Forbidden City, because that's a good game.
Okay. Oh, I need to take a look at that one.
Going back to accessibility real fast, I got my screen back so I was able to look it up. I looked up The Veil on YouTube just to look up the trailer. The first thing that pops up is The Veil, Shadow of the Crown, blind accessible audio game launch trailer.
Yo. Cool.
Oh, hell
I haven't
yes.
had a chance to watch it, but it's a thing.
All right.
Cool.
Damn straight. That is fantastic.
That is innovation and accessibility if I ever heard it.
Yes. Kudos. We're going to have to watch that trailer later. All right. Pie in the Sky, real fast, Finn. Let's get through this. What is the biggest announcement of the show? We know we got the games awards. We got the awards. We're going to be really freaking out about that. But let's be honest. It's what, 40, 50 games that we're going to get announced in the Game Awards? What is the biggest number one in chat, in comments if you're watching this on YouTube? I want to know what you think is going to happen. The biggest thing is Jeff Keighley brought back Elden Ring for us. What is Jeff Keighley going to bring back next?
I don't know. He's constantly tweeting about stuff, and I have no idea what shit he's on right now. The hype level that he's at, I can only imagine it's a Muppets game by From Software. That's the only thing that could match the hype that he's putting out there on Twitter.
I see Beyond Good and Evil gameplay. I kind of want a Muppets FromSoft game. That sounds amazing. Is it? All right, so we got gameplay of that. Is it the title to the sequel to the Breath of the Wild? Is it Metroid Prime 4? Is it GTA 6? What could it be? I just, please, comments, everything. Tell me what you think it is. Pie in the Sky. I don't give a damn what it is. The Super Nintendo Switch 4K LED or OLED. I don't care. Tell me. We will discuss in the comments.
He's really excited, man. He's really. Again, watch our reactions. Because there's going to be some stuff. I
think he probably just is like taking like coffee just right into the veins. I don't know how that man holds the hype. Also,
set expectations. This is the man who got Vin Diesel to announce Game of the Year that one time. So
there's a balance that we have to do. And we have to balance this out. Yes, Vin Diesel did talk about his guy. Just, he talked about his racing game on mobile and then announced Game of the Year, and you're like, why is Vin Diesel here? Say I am Groot. That's all we care about, Vin Diesel. All right. Last thing before we call it a podcast. I don't know if this might be too much. Finn, can you tell me what you think will be the 2022 nominations of Game of the Year? We know what's coming out. We know the big games that are coming out.
All right. It's the end of the podcast.
End of the podcast, baby. Go big or go home. It's got to be. We've got Elden Ring. We have
Starfield. God, it's going to be so hard. Oh, God.
Yeah, Starfield. We have, you can put Arceus in there if you really want to. I wouldn't.
No.
You have God of War Ragnarok. You have Forbidden West. Give me 3. 6 might be too much. Give me your 3.
Horizon
Kirby?
Forbidden West is going to be on there. It is once again going to get snubbed by Breath of the Wild, which feels bad, man. Elden Ring will be on there for sure. Okay. Hard to imagine it's not. So that's 3.
Yeah.
Don't make me do this. This is hard.
I know. I'm putting you on the spot right now. I said 3. That's fine. Those are the 3 easiest ones I would have said. Side note: Kirby was actually rated, and
God of War Ragnarok. Oh,
Ragnarok, baby. Yeah. Yeah. You have Ragnarok and you have Forbidden West in 1 year. 2022 is legitimately shaping up to be a kick-ass year for games. You want to talk about indies? We have Sifu, which got pushed up.
Yeah, weird, right?
2 weeks earlier. Look, guys, we have games coming out in 2022, and I'm excited. Finn is spinning his wheels trying to think of other games. But you know what, Finn? Don't worry about that. We'll
Prince
come back.
Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake.
That's going to be a shitty game.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's call that a podcast. I hope we ended your week or started your week off on a good note. This has been your weekly Now to Play Games podcast. If you're here with us live, you know what? We appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you're watching the YouTube video, please subscribe. We really want to be able to tell you to go to youtube.com/nowtoplaygames. It's a lot easier, so please subscribe to that one. If you're listening out there, the podcast listeners, please give us a follow and a review if you can on that podcast service, or just follow us on that podcast service. That would be awesome. You are the absolute best. With that, I'm John. That's Finn. Rose is our timekeeper and voice from above. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Now go play some games, and we will see you next week.
Shadow Drop Windjammers 2. Do the right thing.
And we're out.